I'm doing 5 things to prepare for the AI takeover that's coming in the next few years. There's going to be a lot of disruption in the next few years as a lot of people start losing their jobs to AI. And when some people start losing their jobs, for example, white collar workers will be the first to go. When they start losing their jobs, the unemployment rate is going to rise, and that's going to affect the entire economy. So it won't just be white collar workers to begin with, it will be the entire economy that's going to be affected. And that's just the beginning of the AI takeover. There's going to be a lot of other disruptions, there's going to be a lot of new scientific discoveries. Possibly AI will take over the government at some point, although that is a bit further away. All these changes are things that we can try to prepare for as best we can over the next few years, because we need to really be prepared for this, because the amount of chaos and disruption and change that's going to be happening in these few years is basically unlike anything that the human race has seen before. So I've got 5 things that I'm doing to prepare myself for this change that is coming. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm working to increase my intelligence to the maximum human limit. So the reason why I'm doing it is basically I want my fluid intelligence to be as high as possible. So your fluid intelligence is basically your ability to solve problems that you've never seen before. And that's exactly what we need over these coming years, because there will be changes and things that are happening that we won't really be able to predict. There'll be things that have never happened before. There'll be a high unemployment rate. There'll be the possibility of universal basic income. Those are things that we haven't really seen before. At least our generation has never seen high unemployment. So for us to be able to navigate these changes and this new environment, we need to have our fluid intelligence as high as possible. So based on my last test, I got an IQ of 149, but actually since that point, I think I increased around about another half a standard deviation from that point. And I think by the time this chaos starts to really happen with the AI takeover, I think I can easily push my IQ into the 160 to 170 range. And that will give me the best shot possible to be able to navigate this new environment. Now, of course, it still won't be perfect, because once superintelligence really does emerge, it will, by definition, be far more intelligent than any human. So it won't really matter too much how much I can increase my intelligence. The superintelligent AI will still be more intelligent than me, but by increasing my intelligence as much as I can, it will at least give me a competitive advantage in competing with other humans throughout this chaotic environment. And that's really what I'm aiming for. So the second thing I'm doing to prepare for the AI takeover is I'm optimizing my health as much as I possibly can. So I've already been doing a lot of this because the same things that optimize your health are the same things that increase your intelligence, like focusing on optimizing your sleep, getting really good high quality sleep, having a really high quality diet with a lot of nutrients for your brain, and of course doing exercise and maintaining your dopamine receptors in a healthy state. Things like that all boost your intelligence, and those are all things that really just help your overall health, not just your mental performance. So basically I'm copying what Brian Johnston is saying with his Don't Die protocol, because I do think with the changes that are coming, we need to make sure that we live long enough to see the AI takeover, because if it plays out how we hope it plays out, then it's going to be a world of complete abundance. And I want to be in that world. So in order to make sure I'm in that world, I need to really optimize my health, make sure that I don't accidentally die before it happens. Now, of course, I'm still young, so the probability of me dying before it happens is quite low. But really, to minimize the chance of that, I'm really optimizing my health. And it's not really too different to what I'm already doing anyway in terms of optimizing my health for my mental performance. Now, the third thing that I'm doing to prepare for the AI takeover is I'm focusing on making as much money as I possibly can. Because during these next few years, there's only a limited window where we can make money. Because once AI fully takes over, it will be competing with humans at making money. It will be competing with humans at building and scaling and managing businesses. it will be competing with humans at trading in the stock market, in the crypto market. And once AI starts competing with humans in those arenas, then the potential for us humans to make money will dramatically reduce. So basically, we've got a couple of years now where we can really change our financial situation. We can go from middle class to wealthy in the next few years. Now, of course, it's not easy. It's still a challenge. It still requires a lot of work to go from average to wealthy. But how easy it is now is far easier than it's going to be in just a couple of years' time. Like, it's going to be far more difficult in just a couple of years' time. And in, say, 5 to 10 years, it will be effectively impossible to go from middle class to wealthy, because at that point, all opportunities to really make outsized gains in terms of wealth will be eaten up by super intelligent AI. So I'm trying to maximize these next couple of years as much as I possibly can, to make as much money as I can during these years while I still can do it. Because after these couple of years, I think effectively we will be stuck at whatever status we have built up in life. So if you're currently middle class, if you don't do anything to change it in the next couple of years, then you will be permanently middle class. And if you are like in the poverty class at the moment, if you don't do anything to change it, in the next few years, you will be permanently locked into the poverty class. So that's why I think it's really important to have a big focus on making as much money as you possibly can over these next couple of years before AI fully takes over. And the fourth thing that I'm doing to prepare for the AI takeover is basically I'm just using AI as much as I possibly can. I'm using all of the latest models, and I'm using them for at least an hour or two per day to really try and optimize these other things that I'm working on. So I'm using AI to help me increase my intelligence. I'm using AI to help me optimize my health. And I'm using AI to help me make as much money as I possibly can. So right now, there is a competitive advantage in using the latest AI models as much as you can. And because a lot of people are doing that, a lot of people, especially people on this channel, for example, are using AI a lot, probably multiple hours per day. But in the overall population, there are still a lot of people who have never even heard of ChatGPT and who aren't doing anything to help themselves, to help their lives with AI. So right now, I'm trying to use AI as much as I possibly can, because right now it is still a competitive advantage, because not everyone knows about it. Not everyone knows that you can accelerate your improvement in so many areas of your life by using AI right now. So that's the fourth thing that I'm doing to prepare for the AI takeover. And the fifth thing that I'm doing to prepare for the AI takeover is I'm preparing for the worst. So I'm not putting too much mental resources or financial resources into preparing for the worst, but I am putting some resources into it. So by preparing for the worst, I basically just mean having supplies at home for a worst case scenario where you might need them. Having water and food supplies and a means of self-defense at home. Having these basics so that if something goes wrong, then at least you will be able to survive for some amount of time. Now, I don't actually think it's not my expected scenario, for example, but I do think some amount of financial and mental resources needs to be put into preparing. Not just for the worst case scenario in terms of AI not being aligned with human interests, but even just for the transition period before we fully get to the AI takeover. The transition period will be very chaotic, and anything could happen in that period of time, that couple of years, where a lot of people start losing their jobs. There's going to be a lot of stress, a lot of chaos, a lot of anger during that period, and a lot of things could happen. So being a little bit prepared for a worst case scenario, I think, is a good idea. And a lot of tech billionaires are even building massive bunkers. I've heard about multiple tech billionaires who are building massive bunkers in case the worst case scenario happens. So if they're doing it, I think it's wise for us to also prepare as much as we can for a worst case scenario. But for me personally, I like to be an optimist. So I'm only putting a couple of % of my mental resources and a couple of % of my financial resources into preparing for the worst. And yeah, that's about it. Those are my 5 things that I'm doing to prepare for the AI takeover. I'm focusing on increasing my intelligence. I'm optimizing my health. I'm working on making as much money as I possibly can while I still can. And I'm trying to use AI as much as I possibly can. And I'm preparing for the worst case scenario. And yeah, that's about it, guys. If you like this content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Cheers, guys.